So, the winter gave us its wrath this weekend. We felt the snow, we felt the winds, we felt everything. But in less than 2 weeks, no matter rain, snow, or whatever the Mother Nature brings us, we are going to be celebrating one of the true veterans of the game. As yes, ladies and gentlemen, today on the Indy Perspective, we are talking Titan Championship Wrestling, MONSTA Among Men. 25 years celebration of the career of Monsta Mack. What's up, everyone? This is the Respect the Craft podcast, episode number 5 of the Indy Perspective. Today we are talking all things Titan Championship Wrestling, as we're talking about that show that I just mentioned, MONSTA Among Men. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 25 years of a true veteran of the game, a man I respect, a man I call Theo, because Monsta Mack is truly like a wrestling uncle for a lot of us, especially in my generation that grew up watching the Hit Squad, grew up watching Jersey All-Pro Wrestling, getting to see him all around the tri-state area, going to even places like Japan. It's insane to think in professional wrestling, it's a hard thing to get 25 years in this business. It's something that, again, it's why I created the Respect the Craft podcast, because I do respect the craft that is professional wrestling. It's a business and a craft that sadly it does put a number on your body. It doesn't give you. It takes a lot more than it gives a lot of times. And to think Monsta Mack is going to do this for 5 years, and to this day is still going strong like it was day one. Like, I just saw Monsta Mack 2 weeks ago at Catalyst Wrestling, winning, mind you, Tag Team Championships. And he doesn't look a day out of year one. Like, it's the same Monsta Mack, dominant as ever, lariat hitting. Like, again, look at this. This picture shows you this man, he's a machine. He's a monster. Like, the name Steve Monsta Mack isn't just a nickname. It's truly what he is. He's a monster in that ring, and I'm glad to be able to be under his learning tree, get gems anytime I speak to him. He truly is one of the best out there, and I'm so happy that Titan Championship Wrestling is putting on a show for him, and this is a special one. So I definitely, once I heard about this show and I started doing the Indy Perspective, I knew this was an episode I wanted to do. Like, the Indy Perspective is usually the shorter episodes of the podcast. Like, this is more of, hey, let's talk a little bit about the card, tell people where they can buy tickets, which especially if you want to buy tickets for this show, which you definitely should. Go to TitanChampionshipWrestling.com or go to the event page on Facebook, and you can get tickets right there, guys. Front row is basically sold out by the time of this recording, but get any seat. You're going to want to be a part of history, because that night will be historic. You are not going to want to miss MONSTA Among Men. I definitely will be there. This is one show I can't miss, because I definitely want to be able to just be in amongst the immense amount of legends in that building. I can't wait to see this. So let's start talking about it. Let's get into this, because I'll put Monsta Mack over all day. Monsta Mack, I'm hoping at the time of this recording, I haven't gotten to confirm dates or anything, but should be coming to Respect the Craft very soon, hopefully before the show, because I definitely want to give him his roses, because he is someone that definitely deserves it. And let's talk about here. So, first off, when I heard this announcement, again, as a kid that grew up watching Jersey All-Pro Wrestling, I can't believe Mark Clemson is going to be the special guest ring announcer that night. A man that truly is one of the, I call him the voice of Jersey All-Pro Wrestling. If you watch Jersey All-Pro Wrestling, you would see him everywhere. One of my favorite promos is, and you could see just the facial reactions. Like, I loved how Mark had to try to keep the straight face, but when you saw the Hit Squad come at him, it's hard, because you're already knowing that, hey, they're about to just scream at you, basically. One of my favorite promos is the Hit Squad when they were feuding with Sami Callihan and Chris Dickinson, and it's his reactions. I'm glad they have Mark on the call for this night. I can't wait to hear him ring announce this night and say the names like Monsta Mack and so many more that we're going to be talking about later on. So truly is great Thank you, Titan Championship Wrestling, for getting Mark for this show. And I'm glad Mark is still around, hey, to do something like this. So this is amazing to see. Next up, let's talk about the first match I'm going to be talking about here. And it is for those TCW Tag Team Championships. The team of the Frontline, the inaugural TCW Tag Team Champions, the team of PJ Savage and Rance will be defending against a team that is no stranger to Tag Team Gold. H2O Tag Team Champions, Ross and Bradley. These two students of Matt Tremont, these two they're, man, when I tell you these are hosses, this is going to be a hoss fight here, ladies and gentlemen. These four are no strangers to wanting to brawl and go at it. PJ Savage, a member of the Takeover, this dude has been making a tear as of late in the tri-state area, just going even after Shane Taylor Promotions. Like, PJ Savage is not one to walk away from a fight. This dude is going to bring it to you. And him and Ransom currently holding those tag team titles. I want to see what's going to happen when these four square off at TCW. Is Ross and Bradley going to be able to come into Ransom and PJ Savage's house and say, hey, we want that gold too? It's going to be a difficult one to predict, but you definitely are not going to want to miss that. Tag team wrestling, I feel like finally in Indies is starting to bloom again. Like, tag team wrestling is an art that is starting to get lost a little bit. Everyone is starting to forget the amazing history of tag team wrestling, and seeing a match like this, hopefully it starts to add to that gleamer of this is what tag team wrestling is supposed to be. Next up is two of my favorites right here. It's another one of those pro wrestling theos. It's Low Life Louie. You know he's going to have the Four Loco on deck. There's going to be a lot of Four Locos on that night because we're celebrating, guys. So it's going to be Low Life Louie taking on one of my brothers, my boy. Again, there's not many that I can say I got to see almost them growing up in wrestling. And Chris Barton is one of those guys. But what I have to talk about here is Chris Barton has been going through a transition almost. Chris Barton, he started out as the Bushwick Beast, but as he started to get more into the indie scene, you saw him almost change a little bit. Like, you got to see him go into this persona of El Único. He was trying to have more fun. He was trying to be able to enjoy it with the crowd, get the crowd behind him, start to dance, come out to those more like show tune style, not show tunes, but like more of that dance club vibe. But as you start to see Chris Barton starting to finally release the inner beast again. The Bushwick Beast is back. And I feel like when you're going into a match with a veteran like Low Life Louie, you kind of have to be a beast. You can't come in there trying to party and try to not take this seriously, because Low Life Louie has been doing this for years. Low Life Louie is no stranger to that ring. And if I'm Chris and I'm going in there without thinking 100% I got to fight to survive this matchup, then Low Life Louie has this in the bag. Again, Chris Barton is no slouch, but if he's not thinking this is a fight, if he's not going at this with everything he's got, I don't think Chris has it. But I'm hoping the Bushwick Beast is in TCW that night. I hope he's going to be at the Adrenaline Sports Academy. I'm hoping for it because I want to see that fight. I want to see the Bushwick Beast versus Low Life Louie. I want to see that swing of just those two beating the ever-living shit out of each other. Excuse my language. But there you go, guys. That's what I'm thinking about this. Next up, let's talk about the Goddess Championship. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Goddess Championship will be on the line as Riley Shepard will be defending her Goddess Championship, as she'll be accompanied to the ring by AJ Pan. The Pan congregation it's been interesting to see what AJ Pan has been able to do here in Titan Championship Wrestling. Like, he's a guiding light from usually I saw him with the Pan Agency. But now he's creating something else as the guiding light. And he's been a guiding light in Titan Championship Wrestling. But will their day be a little gloomy? Will it rain on their parade? And again, puns are intended because they're facing off against JC Storm. She's another one. I've been lucky to see her rise in the independent scene and getting to see what she's become now. Riley Shepard better watch out because this is an independent standout that could take her championship. Very, very well might happen at MONSTA Among Men. So this is one you guys are going to want to see, because this might be one of the matches of the night. So definitely enjoy this matchup. And all I'm saying, though, is I know AJ very well. We've had some conversations. We've had some meetings. We developed a little bit of a friendship. And I know AJ has a lot of tricks up those sleeves. So again, as the guiding light, it might be a different style of tactics, but I can imagine AJ isn't going to change when he brings some championship into the fold. So we'll have to wait and see. But next up, we are going to talk about some more championship gold, as this one is not going to be for the faint of heart. So definitely, ladies and gentlemen, if you're bringing kids, be careful with this one. Might want to get them to go to the concession stand at this matchup, because this is going to be for the TCW Hardcore Championship. This matchup is an American Hardcore Open Challenge, as the MERC defends his championship against, who will it be? Now, I'm going to start with the speculations here, because again, it is the celebration of Monsta Mack. When you think about it, the battles he's had in these last 25 years, also the friends he's made in those last 25 years, you gotta think the amount of guys that would love to be able to be a part of this show, or the list can go on and on. I have a whole book right here, to break the fourth wall here. I have a whole book of notes that I do for every episode. I could write every single name of a person Mack has faced, Mack is known, and the book will be complete, and I'm not even halfway done. So, I started to think about it. I started to think, who would Monsta Mack probably want to be like, hey, there's a championship spot on the line, and I have to think about it, and I'm thinking, there might be one guy that's willing to throw down, especially on this kind of night, that happens to also be a notorious 1A7, happens to be a newly inducted Indie Wrestling Hall of Famer. I want to say it might be the guy that just invented the Hammerstein. I want to say Homicide is answering that open challenge. I want to say another Theo is going to be in that building on February the 12th. Who knows? I might be right, I might be wrong. Also, it could be a list of other people, like I said. But who knows what could happen on TCW that night. What I'm telling you, though, is especially for a match like this, you're going to want to be in the building. Go to TitanChampionshipWrestling.com right now. The link is going to be down below. It's going to be like one of the first links. Go there, go get your tickets, because for a match like this alone, who knows who it could be. Could it be Homicide? Could it be Low Key? Could it be Dan frickin' Moth? You never know. You never know who could. It could even be one of the guys that helped with the training of a lot of these guys in this building on that night. Could it be Lathon coming to put his boots back on? Who knows? The amount of people that could possibly walk through that curtain on February 12th, you never know. Also, it's a hardcore match. So it's just one. Who knows? Maybe. Again, the options are endless, and that's what you got to love about independent wrestling, because you truly have to expect the unexpected, ladies and gentlemen. So, next up, we're going to go into a matchup that I'm really looking forward to, because the Respect the Craft podcast truly is about the craft of professional wrestling. And pure wrestling, to me, is wrestling at its core. It's at the most pure, it's pure, it's called pure wrestling for a reason, pure rules. That pure style is truly, to me, one of the most intense and very methodical styles of professional wrestling. And getting to see another veteran in there, like Preacher, Phineas James himself, a man that's taught a lot of my friends in this business, against Josh Adams. You usually know him as Violence, but doing these matchups, you're starting to see Violence is starting to not want to have a persona of sorts. He wants to show he can go in his pure wrestling style. This match was supposed to happen, I believe, on the last show. But unfortunately, Preacher could not make it. And this time around, it's going to happen on, again, one of the biggest shows happening in 2022. And it's just kicking off the year. It's February 12th, and this show is going to be happening. And this matchup, like I said, is going to be great. I love pure wrestling style. I can't wait to see Preacher and Josh go at it in this. It's going to be a clinic in there. If you've never seen Preacher go, how dare you, first off. But second off, this is the matchup you're going to want to see. Because Preacher going at it in a pure rules match, oh, he's going to take Josh to school. Again, Josh is no slouch. But this is going to be one that I hope Josh is watching his tapes. I hope he's studying everything he can, because this is not going to be an easy task for Josh Adams. So definitely get your tickets, guys. Go get your tickets. Next up, we want to talk about a fight. Here we go. We got Frankie Percard himself taking on Ben Castle. This, I'm telling you right now, that hardcore match I said might not be for the faint of heart. That technical matchup I said was going to be a fight. This is going to be a fight. Does Ben Castle want the smoke from Frankie here? What is Frankie going to bring on February 12th? Again, Frankie is known for the cosplay in pro wrestling. Frankie knows to have some fun in that ring, but I think he's looking to make, again, it's a special night. Frankie's going to come in with no games that night. He's going to make sure that the guy that ends up all in smoke is going to be Ben Castle. So that's going to be a match, another one. That's going to be a fight. I'm telling you right now, that is going to be a fight, and you're not going to want to miss it. But next up, here we go. Like I said, as a kid that grew up, again, I keep calling myself a kid still because of the Theos and vets and unks that I get to speak to. But at 23 years old, I grew up watching Jersey All Pro. I grew up watching CCW. I grew up watching that tri-state area indies that got to just define what our generation of independent wrestling is. And these three guys are originals of that era. These three guys are the reason why we have so many of the guys we do. So when I saw this matchup announced, I said, this is history right here. This is why this night is so special. Again, the whole night is because of Steve Monsta Mack. But this matchup right here shows you, though, why TCW didn't just name a show after Monsta Mack. They really made it about history and making truly an impact that night. Ladies and gentlemen, on February the 12th, 3 JAPW, Jersey All Pro Wrestling Originals, are squaring off as you have Jade Lover returning to the ring. You have Magic stepping into the ring, and you have Crazy Ivan stepping into the ring. When I tell you, especially Magic, from tri-state area indies, because of Magic, you have guys, you have Monsta Mack. Because of Magic, you have Drastic and Ortiz. Oh, I should say, sorry, Santana and Ortiz. Magic, the first time I ever met Magic, I was starstruck. Again, I'll admit it, I was a mark that night when I saw Magic. The first time I met him was at his anniversary show. And I knew about Magic, and when I tell you, and this is what I love about this business, that especially for true veterans that respect the craft of professional wrestling, the first time I met Magic, he treated me like, again, like one of the boys, like, hey, especially, and he even told me that night, you're willing to learn. You're willing to be one of the guys that wants to make this business better. And again, Magic didn't have it. I didn't earn that right to be able to sit down and chat with Magic, in my opinion. Because again, I was just a young boy. I'm still a young boy. I'm still paying my dues. And Magic, to me, is one of those guys that is uncle for everyone here. He is Uncle Magic. He is truly one of the best to do it. And I'm so happy to get to see Magic that day. And it's going to be amazing. I can't wait for this. Jay Lover stepping back in the ring. When I saw that, I popped. I couldn't believe it. Jay Lover stepping back in the ring. Crazy Ivan, another one. He's one of those I feel like still doesn't get enough due. Like, and he's still doing it to this day. Crazy Ivan, you could see in New Jersey, once in a blue, stepping in ECPW. Like, give Crazy Ivan his due, man. That dude can go. He's a vet, and this matchup right here, I'm telling you, is going to be great. I can't wait. Man, let me keep going, because if not, I can keep talking about that match alone. Like, this is why I'm hoping, especially, to get to speak to Monsta Mack before this show, because that match alone, I know even Mac is going to have so much to talk about. But next up, we're going to talk about this one right here. To me, is so special because it is a matchup of it's a battle of generations here. It is the good guy himself, Azrael, veteran of the game, a man that's been doing it for so many years, and even you could call him an ROH original. ROH, Jersey All-Pro, he's been around with everything. When you talk about Azrael, you could talk about Special K. You could talk about the Embassy. You can talk about just... Azrael is another one. He truly is a Theo. He truly is someone that is also always willing to share knowledge and share gems. And he's facing off against the young standout Rocket. Rocket's been making his name. I give it to Rocket. Rocket, I got to see a lot thanks to Matt Tremont. And Rocket has been killing it as of late. Rocket's been killing it. And I feel like a perfect test is against someone like Azrael. Azrael is a jack of all trades. He calls himself the good guy, but man, Azrael is also a little bit of a devious person in that ring. So I want to see what is he gonna do that night to Rocket, and will Rocket be ready to face a guy like the good guy Azrael? Rocket's been showcased a lot in the tri-state area. I want to see on a night like this where Monsta Mack, the matches on this show for Monsta Among Men, for this celebration for Monsta Mack, is truly showcasing not only the past, but the future of professional wrestling. And I love to see it because with conversations I've had with Monsta Mack, that's all he cares about, is making sure that not only is that lineage being showcased, but that future is being made and that foundation for the next crop of amazing talent is there. So I love to see a matchup like this. And these next few matches, because we're talking about we have 4 more matches to go. And all 4 are going to be some bangers. Especially this next one. Because this next one, to me, oh man, this one, let's get into it. Okay, so this one, I'm going to be a little biased. Just because, to me, this, I feel like is going to be match of the night. This one, I feel like, is going to be one that, if you're, especially if you're live, you are not going to want to move from your seat. You're going to want to be ready to see everything go down, because this is going to be a barn burner. It's called a dream match for a reason, because you have, ladies and gentlemen, again, when we talk about Jersey All-Pro, this is the man of Jersey All-Pro. A legend, Arcadia, taking on the one above all, Anthony Gangone. And these two, again, this isn't the first time they've squared off. This isn't the first time, but this is the first time we're going to get to see them at this level. And what I mean by that is Arcadia now, like I said, he truly is a legend in my opinion. And anyone that watches, not even just tri-state area indies, that anyone that respects the craft of professional wrestling, independent wrestling, if you can't talk about in the conversation of greats Arcadia, then I don't know what you're doing. Because Arcadia is one of those innovators. When we talk about professional wrestling, innovation is at its key. If you cannot innovate and make yourself different and stand out, then what are you doing? What are you doing in this business? Arcadia it's a human highlight reel. Arcadia is never someone that is, you're going to say, oh, this guy has like the 5 moves of doom. Arcadia isn't that guy. Arcadia is going to show out. And I can't wait to see him face Anthony Gangone. Again, someone, this is why I have to be a little biased, because he's one of my best friends. And I know that he isn't taking this match lightly. I know that a matchup like this, Anthony Gangone is looking to prove where he belongs. And he's looking, because again, I can also admit, Titan Championship Wrestling is almost slouching him a little bit. They aren't giving him that spot. He was in the final 2 of the Mount Olympus Rumble with Johnny Moran. And if it wasn't for Johnny Moran, he finally be receiving that championship match. He talked the talk and went to blows with Monsta Mack about this. He fought Monsta Mack on that last show. And I would hope that proved to Monsta Mack Anthony Gangone wasn't joking. He wasn't kidding around, that he's willing to fight for that spot. And a matchup like this, Arcadia, again, a vet, a true innovator. But Anthony Gangone is also someone that truly proves how innovative he can be. And I know for this matchup, he's going to bring out anything he has in the works. This is going to be a match. It's a dream match for a reason. And I know this is going to be a fan favorite of the night. This might be match of the night. You have to wait and see, guys. But again, this match alone, if it's not getting you all ready to buy tickets, if you already bought your tickets, good. If you haven't, right now, pause the video. Pause the video right now. Go to TitanChampionshipWrestling.com. If you're listening on audio, keep listening, but go on a link and go to TitanChampionshipWrestling.com. It's in the link below. It's in the description. Or if you're watching on audio, check out the description. The link is there. Go buy your tickets. Because this match is going to be a clinic. It's going to be a master class. It is going to be a masterpiece. Now, next up, let's talk about it. It's the marquee matchup here. Because again, I always respect gold has its place. It is one of the important things about this. This is what makes everyone that's in this. If you say you don't want a championship, I don't know. I think I can believe you there. Because this is the highest of the highest. You want to hold the heavyweight championship. And Johnny Moran made his way into this spot and is now your TCW heavyweight champion. And on a night like this, 25 years celebrating Monsta Mack, he's facing off a man that's gone to war with Monsta Mack. He's been by his side. On February 12th, it will be Johnny Moran defending the TCW heavyweight championship against KTB. Kyle the Beast looks to prove Johnny Moran is nothing more than another puny human holding a championship that he looks to claim as his. He looks to be a trophy hunter that night, a prize fighter, if you will. And KTB looks to maul Johnny Moran on February 12th. Johnny Moran, he's the dark horse for a reason. I don't think KTB is going to get to maul him like he would, because I don't see Johnny Moran losing a bout like this, because Johnny Moran was able to outlast, like I said, that Mount Olympus Rumble. Not only that, he also faced Monsta Mack that same night. He had to go through all that and then faced a he was at 100% Monsta Mack that night. But Johnny Moran was able to prove why this championship was going to be his. So on this night, this is going to be a fight. This is going to be one that you're not going to want to miss. And it is an amazing matchup that you're not going to want to miss, guys. So again, get your tickets. Every matchup here, a main event caliber matchup. It is a night full of main events. And this is something, again, the promoter usually says that, I book main event matches. But this night, it shows it. It shows that it's a night full of main events. Any one of those matches that we're talking about. But now, let's talk about a matchup that, to me, I feel like it should be the main event. Because, especially on a night like this, We are talking about Monsta Among Men, a 25-year celebration of Steve Monsta Mack himself. You gotta think, the man himself has to be the main event, as Steve Monsta Mack has chosen this opponent. He wants to face a man that he feels disrespected him at the last show. Jay Boogie himself, member of the Takeover, a man that says they're with PJ Savage, with the Faceless Ones, they're looking to take over the indies. They're looking to take over professional wrestling. I don't know if they respect the craft of professional wrestling. I don't know if their definition of the craft is the same as mine. Maybe one of these days I have to have the Takeover on, because I want to understand why it is that they treat wrestling the way they do. They come in and they think everything is theirs. It's almost like if it's owed to them in a sense. And again, maybe it's because they feel like they have that chip on their shoulder that they have to come in with that tenacity and that ferociousness. But also, when you're going to step to someone like Monsta Mack, Jay Boogie, I hope he's coming correct, because if you're going to go at the king, you must not miss. And on February 12th, when you're going against someone who, again, is 25 years in the game, it's 25 years in this craft that is professional wrestling. Monsta Mack, I know without a shadow of a doubt, respects this craft. And on February 12th, if I'm Jay Boogie, I'm coming with everything, because Monsta Mack is going to come with the hardest lariat he's ever hit. He's going to come with that Uranagi. He's going to come with that military press. And I hope the Adrenaline Sports Academy doesn't have a wall that has nothing on it. Because if I'm Jay Boogie, I might get hit with a Jersey All-Pro style wall toss. Because it is Jersey. There's no commission. So if I'm TCW, I'm hoping we don't lose the pot that night. Because Monsta Mack is going to prove why a night like this is happening. Why Monsta Among Men is happening. He's going to prove why he is 25 years young in this business. Why he truly is still one of the best going today. Why he is a legend. Why he has inspired not only me, but countless of others in that locker room. Countless of others in any locker room. Countless of others that are on TV today. So again, I tell you, if you haven't already, TitanChampionshipWrestling.com. Follow Titan Championship Wrestling on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, on anywhere you can find them. This night is a night that you should be in New Jersey. Like I said, Adrenaline Sports Academy, 1 Main Street, Toms River, New Jersey. February the 12th, doors open at 6 p.m., bell time at 7. Tickets are starting at just $20. $20. Think about that. $20 for a star-studded card of let's see. I'm gonna run through it one more time, just to show you what I'm talking about. Look at this right here. It's a card full of main event matches. Look at this. Every single matchup on here is a main event. Even my dog right now is barking out of excitement because she knows I'm excited. Look at that. It's a card full of main events, and you're going to have the voice of Jersey All-Pro Wrestling, Mark Clemson, on. He's the ring announcer for that night. When you have a ring announcer, it adds another piece to it. It adds something. It adds layers. And that is your announcer for that night. You have championship matches. You have Haas fights. You have pure fights. You have hardcore fights. And you have legends in the making and legends of this sport going at it that night. So if you respect the craft and you love professional wrestling and you love indie wrestling and you hashtag support indie wrestling, this is the event to be at. When I started doing the Indy Perspective and I started talking about indie shows coming up, this was the show that I said, hey, I'm going to make sure I give it time, because I wasn't just going to post it like a day before. No, I wanted to give it time because, again, we are, as of this recording, it's January 30th. You have 2 weeks still to decide how you're going to get there, how you're making it. Trust me, this is the show you want to be at. This is a show you are not going to want to miss. It's a family affair too. Bring the kids, bring the family, have fun. Enjoy wrestling, enjoy indie wrestling. And this is a show that truly respects the craft, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my name is Raymond Sanchez. This has been Indy Perspective Episode 5 on the Respect the Craft Podcast Network, channel, whatever you want to call it. We love professional wrestling here. We respect the art and craft that is professional wrestling. It is a business that I truly love, and I'm glad to get to see shows like this that are honoring them that truly deserve it. We're celebrating the night. It is going to be a party. It's going to be an amazing night, and I can't wait to see you all there. So once again, as always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people. As always, respect the craft, and thank you, Theo Mack, for doing what you've done for this business and what you continue to do for this business. We love you, and we'll see you February 12th. Till then, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and on all the other stuff, please follow as well. Peace, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. See ya!